Bahamas, I'm Samarco Lightbourne, and thank you for tuning in to the Blaze 98.3 FM's local news broadcast. Today is Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. An unprecedented Privy Council judgment handed down yesterday has made any conveyances from January 2011 to date of land and subdivisions that do not have subdivision approval null and void. The ruling confirmed the interpretation of Section 62(1) of the Planning and Subdivisions Act 2010. The 2010 Act repealed the Private Roads and Subdivision Act, Chapter 256, and the Private Roads and Subdivision Out Islands Act, Chapter 257. While it was already a criminal offense to sell or convey land without subdivision approval, the latest judgment from the highest court makes it clear how the execution of conveyances after the new act came into force should be handled. Attorneys Obi Pinling and Christina Galanos handled the litigation of the matter on behalf of their client Malik Momin, who is an American citizen. He entered into an agreement with local and Bahamian-owned February Point Resorts Estates Limited on February 18, 2008 for the sale of a lot in a subdivision on Exuma for $895,000. Although the lot was paid in full as of February 23, a dispute arose between the parties over whether Momin was entitled to the return of the money he had paid because the developer had not obtained the subdivision approval required by the 2010 Act, and by reason of Section 62(1), there could be no valid conveyance to him. A Supreme Court ruling on the matter decided in favor of February Point Resort Estates Limited. However, the decision was reversed by the Court of Appeal, which was later appealed before the Privy Council. The court case questions if the necessary planning approval for subdivision has not been obtained, what effect does that have on an agreement to sell a lot and the conveyance of a lot in the subdivision? The Privy Council dismissed the appeal. The ruling read, "Lest there be any doubt, we see no good reason to grant February Point Resorts Estates Limited any further indulgence in terms of obtaining the necessary subdivision approval, and therefore February Point Resorts Estate Limited should now repay to Malik Momin the purchase price paid plus interest." Attorney General Ryan Pinder commented on the case ruling and its ramifications.
We wouldn't know in the first instance how many properties have been conveyed since 2011, which is when the court said the operative date was without subdivision approval, although we have to assume that certainly there's a material amount of conveyances that may fall into that bucket, which according to the court ruling would make them void. We are looking at the court ruling and looking with respect to possible legislative amendments in the very short term to be able to address this situation. Certainly this is not something that we want to leave open-ended for the Bahamian people. There are many conveyances that have occurred over a decade now that are legitimate, that are material, and that are bargained for, that need to be preserved. So we're looking at our legislative options to see if we can have a legislative remediation of this issue, so it doesn't become a vexing issue for Bahamians.
Galanos indicated that homeowners who may be impacted by the ruling would have to have those conveyances regularized either through reconveyance, a quieting, or an act of Parliament. Pinling advised that Parliament will consider legislation to protect the interests of Bahamians and to offer more transparency.
We're weighing whether we proceed with one amendment or if we proceed with a full planning and subdivision replacement legislation to make it more transparent and easier and facilitate developments and preserve Bahamians' rights. But if that is not viable in the short term, we'll certainly bring an amendment if we think it appropriate to fix the situation.
On the healthcare front, Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Michael Darville says the government will soon begin the second phase of the National Health Insurance Program, understanding the need for more comprehensive health coverage for residents and the burden that has been placed on the healthcare system due to the pandemic. To date, NHI has enrolled over 100,000 persons into the program, and this number continues to grow while maintaining patient satisfaction rates over 90% by offering a suite of primary care benefits, leveraging an expansive provider network, and implementing a modern electronic health record with telehealth capabilities. Darville announced from the Office of the Prime Minister today that plans to expand NHI are in place.
I'm pleased to report that the NHI board is now in place. We met a couple of days ago, and we have a plan on how we are going to work very quickly to ensure that NHI delivers its mandate to even more Bahamians as we prepare ourselves for the launch of catastrophic healthcare insurance. So we have a lot of work to do at NHI. NHI is the financial engine that will be able to drive the delivery of healthcare services throughout the country with individuals who are unable to do it with unemployed or even indigents, but we have to ensure that we move into the second phase of NHI, and we made it very clear in the speech from the throne the direction we're heading in.
Bahamian citizens and residents can enroll online, over the phone, or in person, and must have a valid NIB smart card. Enrolled individuals become NHI beneficiaries by selecting their preferred primary care provider and receive services at no cost at the point of care. Darville noted that the new NHI board appointees are expected to meet this week. When asked about a time to execute Phase 2, Darville offered this.
We have challenges in our economy, and we must be realistic. As we begin now to put the parameters in place, I will have to discuss it with my colleagues at the Ministry of Finance. We need to look at the economy. We don't want to put more burden on the Bahamian people that is necessary, but we all agree that the current healthcare system needs to be revamped, and we must find a new modality and way on how we will be able to pay for healthcare services in the country and not be in the position we're in today, where the pandemic has come and the services at the hospital is even more challenged, and the list goes on and on.
The next step in the program's journey towards universal health coverage is the Primary Care Transformation Initiative. This initiative will integrate the public primary healthcare system, implement pragmatic reforms to private insurance, and provide every eligible person with a single electronic health record. To enroll, Bahamians can call the National Insurance Health Authority hotline at 242-396-8500 or do so by signing up online at nhibahamas.gov.bs. In other news, the rare occurrence of a shark attack in the Bahamas. The United States Coast Guard rescued a 51-year-old man yesterday after he was bitten by a shark while fishing aboard a vessel near Bimini, according to U.S. authorities. According to reports, the motor vessel Shearwater crew contacted the Coast Guard around 12:50 p.m. and reported that a man aboard had been bitten by a shark while fishing, and that a tourniquet had been placed on the man's arm to prevent further blood loss. A Coast Guard Air Station Miami MH-65 Dolphin helicopter and crew arrived on scene and hoisted the man before transferring him to a waiting emergency medical team at Jackson Memorial Hospital in Miami. He was reportedly in stable condition. An Air Station Miami HC-144 plane and crew assisted with communication efforts with the Dolphin air crew. Coast Guard District 7 Command Duty Officer Sean Connett said this was the best possible outcome to a truly terrifying situation. This individual was fortunate a fellow crew member was able to render aid prior to the Coast Guard's arrival, which allowed for a quick extraction from the vessel. Every year, around 70 unprovoked attacks are reported worldwide. According to the Florida Museum of Natural History's International Shark Attack File, on average between 2016 and 2022, there were 73 confirmed unprovoked cases. That number went down significantly in 2020, which experts attribute to lockdowns associated with the pandemic. Just ahead in our newscast, we take a look at the official COVID-19 update and a look at the weather forecast. We'll return after the break.
Hey, I just reached. I got ask him now because they close in like 5 minutes. Okay, hold on. Oh, sorry. Hi. I heard y'all added more things to pay, like government fees or something?
Yes, sir. We're now accepting payments for Department of Immigration, Department of Labor, and the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
Okay, good. I come to pay a police record and a labor certificate.
Okay, no problem. What's the name?
Uncle Boogaloo.
What's the first name?
Uncle.
And the last.
Boogaloo. You in the system.
Are you paying by cash, sir?
Coins.
Pardon?
Oh, and you could put a couple of them coins on my BPL bill. They just cut me off last night. I don't know what happened. Hey, Uncle, you straight. Yeah, don't forget my whole fish now.
Pay your government fees today at Cash and Go.
Welcome back to your local newscast. I'm Samarco Lightbourne. Thank you for joining us. Here's the latest on the COVID-19 front. The Bahamas Ministry of Health reported 16 COVID-19 cases on Sunday, 14 in New Providence, 1 in Grand Bahama, and 1 in Long Island. The overall total stands at 33,068 cases. There were 3 recoveries reported for the day. Total recoveries are 26,029. There are 770 deaths on record. There are 42 hospitalized cases, 3 patients are being treated in the intensive care unit, and the remaining 39 cases are considered moderately ill. And now providing you with a glimpse beyond your patio, here's our Gigi Percenti with your local weather forecast.
Good evening. Here's a look at your local weather forecast for Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022, as issued by the Bahamas Department of Meteorology. General situation. A high-pressure ridge centered just north of the area will continue to support moderate to fresh easterly winds and mostly stable conditions across the country. Special warnings. Beachgoers should exercise caution due to the risk of rip currents at East Coast beaches. For all areas, weather partly to mostly warm, breezy, with the chance of a passing shower, mostly fair and mild tonight. A small craft caution is in effect. Winds easterly at 15 to 20 knots over open waters. Seas 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. Today's daytime high temperature was 82 degrees Fahrenheit, 28 degrees Celsius. Overnight low, 66 degrees Fahrenheit, 19 degrees Celsius. Sunrise at 6:37 a.m. on Wednesday. Moon sets at 12:05 a.m. on Wednesday. Moon rise at 11:10 p.m. on Wednesday. We're currently experiencing high tide. Low tide will be at 9:54 a.m. on Wednesday. High tide 1:16 p.m. on Wednesday. Low tide 3:49 p.m. on Wednesday. I am Gigi Percenti, and this has been a look at your local weather forecast.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Samarco Lightbourne, reporting for the Blaze 98.3 FM. We invite you to join us for our morning broadcast with Westrel and Ferguson, Monday through Fridays at 8 a.m. Good evening, Bahamas, and stay safe.